Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Global God Choice. Only I Choose Saiyan Bloodline 41. Chapter 41. The Military Chiefs to School. Weight Training Room. Again came Shu Heng, in which spent a full all night. The next day, one of the world's best news, sensational school, many teachers and students are discussed in the wild. The military will have a King Master class, come to school, personally invited Shu Heng, join forces. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Weight training room. Shu Heng still in training status. From yesterday, and now, all night did not come out. Even to eat, or also take away point in there to solve. Outdoor training, the principal figure appeared in the doorway. Beside the principal, also stood an old man. It was before and Shu Heng talked to the janitor uncle. At this point the president looked nervous, full of worry. He looked at the old man next to the janitor. You said, Shu Heng, what will not stay in school? After all, the military out of the conditions may be more favorable than us. Quote. Although our school has been given enough sincerity, basically a full out, but, after all, is a man on behalf of the military. If Shu Heng heart, then our efforts are likely in vain. Heard around school principal worry, old man smiled, rest assured, he will not go. Where Shu Heng is not an ordinary person, not the kind of good to see, on which side of the backward people. He had a humanities scholar, obviously there are better options, but why choose a fit Son Goku be blood? He must have his work a special reason. Since that make life difficult for the military, that this will certainly be rejected. This child is a strong character and you met anyone in the weight training room, stay for a night of it. Shu Heng is a good boy, deserves focus on training, you can have a good look. Next to the old man, the principal heard his words, was very surprised. But the vision of God high, most people are unable to enter his stuff. This time, actually have such a high evaluation of Shu Heng. Really made him feel surprised. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Talk to the old man in the president. Shu Heng is still in training. The military level master king to personally send to school invited Shu Heng. News already swept the whole school. Campus everywhere are going to discuss whether Shu Heng military voice. Under the trees, a group of freshmen in the chat. You said the same newborn, how such a big gap? I have not even a fighter too. Shu Heng already a master, and toward the front line of the great master. Shu Heng what will not go to the military? If I must go, obviously fighting the army will be stronger. Oh, go or not does not matter to us, how then can not invite my head? In the cafeteria, just the get out of class of high school students, but also ridicule each other. This session of the newborn, it really is a personal matter, we had new life experience, how can there be so much attention? Although I term him high, but the feeling is not rivals. Come on, I feel that the military people on glue, it came to so much trouble to recruit people. Anyway, not that freshmen do, how can you say so iffy? Son Goku a fit person only, the potential has been exhausted, not worth mentioning. In the student union office, there are a few people with visual and sit in the discussing Shu Heng same thing. We have people still hesitant, not to recruit Shu Heng, result, military personnel directly over to grab people. And I heard the king to the people or master level. You say, Shu Heng will not go, and if go, then we wasted a game in this discussion. Shu Heng do not go away, I do not know, but if I was, I certainly did not hesitate to follow the military chief's leave. A logistics department office. Virtual days at the window, staring at the sky outside the window, slightly wrinkled brow, in look with anxiety. I'm logistics department, finally out of a going astray. As a result, people were running in all directions and I grab. Budokan department to get people, how a school can be considered. However, the military has also run along for the ride. Quote. Oh, I do not know what Shu Heng do not go away, though the last time he assured I will not leave. But, and this time the military to come in person, but also a king master level, I am afraid that Shu Heng also be tempted. While other places to go is his freedom, but inevitably some regret. Virtual day concerns of the sound, in the office, occasionally sounded. Budokan department, the office sat a few teachers, or chatting. I heard that the military really send level Master King personally rob people, and you feel Shuheng will not go. Who do not go away, anyway, we failed to get Budokan not. Go, I do not want to see the face of the logistics department those guys proud of. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. It is for the military to personally get people in the outside world, when it shocked. Shuheng still training his indoor training program. The key is, not far from the training ground, there was a mysterious figure, he is watching Shuheng training. Shuheng was not recognized. The mysterious figure that rode did not bother verbally. 54321. Call. Arranged training program finally finished. Upon completion of the training program last project, Shuheng slumped. This training effect of gravity training room far more than his imagination, he has been close to Grandmaster, a little training will have a very clear sense of fatigue. Next time, you can then increase the amount of training. Looked at his perfect training program as executed, Shuheng's satisfied smile. Your strength, stronger than I imagined, it is estimated almost faster to catch up with the great master, right? When suddenly, in Shuheng immersed in the joy of the training is completed, a Lengran voice, not far came from Shuheng. Shuheng quickly turned around, who? Then, he discovered a mysterious figure, he was standing not far away. Shuheng suddenly shocked. He trained for so long on the inside, but still did not find entirely around someone. This man, what is strength? Ellipsis 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 ellipsis. Global God Choice. Only I Choose Saiyan Bloodline 42. Chapter 42. Chapter 42. Invitation from the King. Looking at the figure not far away, Shuheng was extremely shocked. He was so close to me that I didn't notice him at all. Wouldn't it be easy for him to kill me? What kind of strength is this man? Lord, great Lord, or King class? Seeing Shuheng's shocked eyes, the figure stepped forward and gave Shuheng a friendly smile. Hello, Ling Kangfang, from the military. Ling Kangfang. Hearing his words, Shuheng understood instantly. Is this guy the big guy from the military who wants to come to school? Too strong. While shocked, Shuheng changed his words, thank you very much for the recognition of the military, but I don't want to leave the school. Hehe, don't rush to refuse. Seeing Shuheng's refusal, Ling Kangfang smiled slightly, but was not angry. As long as you are willing to join our army, any conditions can be negotiated, and we will make every effort to meet your requirements. In life, we will prepare a special nutrition and hygiene team for you, formulate a special diet plan for you, and ensure that you can increase your strength to the greatest extent. Army ruins, you can enter and leave at will, and experience at will, you don't need to apply like a school. Training equipment, there are countless in the army, you can use it at will. In addition, there is the combat data team, which measures your physical data by observation to develop the best training plan for you. The special guidance of a king-level master is of course indispensable. If you need it, I can even help you personally. If you can come to the army, we can help you become a king-level master in the shortest possible time. A series of favorable conditions came out of Ling Kangfang's mouth. It can be said that any item is a condition that is hard to refuse. However, Shuheng did not answer. These conditions may be a fatal temptation for others. But for Shuheng, the appeal was not that strong. Looking at Shuheng who was indifferent, Ling Kangfang was not discouraged and continued to drive on favorable conditions. You fit Son Goku's bloodline, which was originally recognized as a waste bloodline. However, it only took you 2 weeks to become a master, and you have almost reached the limit of a master. You are only one step away from being a master. This is a very important research thing. If you are not satisfied with Son Goku's bloodline, we can mobilize all available relic resources to help you find a way to replace the bloodline contract. Hearing this, Shuheng wanted to laugh. How much Saiyan bloodline he had received from mockery, how could he possibly change it? As for the various conditions that Ling Kangfang opened before, for Shuheng, it is of little significance. Nutritional hygiene team, he doesn't need it. He can eat whatever he wants every day. He doesn't like being forced to feed. He feels like a pig. Training equipment. Conventional training equipment has little meaning for Xu Heng. No matter how many training equipment the army has, it is of little use to him. The guidance of a king-level master may be meaningful, but with the Saiyan bloodline, he is not eager for these guidance. All he needs is the near-death battle again and again. Sorry, I may have to disappoint you. Xu Heng spoke again, with an obvious refusal in his words. When Ling Kangfang heard Xu Heng's words, he immediately understood what he meant, but he was still not angry. It seems that you really have no idea about the army. With so many conditions, you don't even have the slightest heartbeat. Ling Kangfang looked at Xu Heng. Xu Heng is noncommittal. The conditions you just mentioned are indeed very sincere, and they are enough to show the rich resources of the army. However, it is different for me. As far as I'm concerned, the biggest problem with the army is that there is no freedom, Xu Heng responded firmly. So, I won't go to the army. You may have to go to the army for nothing. Haha. After hearing Xu Heng's firm refusal, Ling Kangfang said again, since you have made up your mind, I am not forcing it. However, I hope I can ask you a question. Ling Kangfang looked at Xu Heng with curious eyes. Why, you can return normally from the fifth layer dream. This is indeed not to blame on Ling Kangfang. The secret of the fifth layer of dreams, everyone wants to know. Over the years, I don't know how many experts who think they are powerful have entered the fifth layer dreamland one after another. Everyone was fully prepared before entering. Everyone, before going in, was full of confidence, believing that they would never have a problem, and what happened before was that they were not strong enough. In the same way, everyone who goes in beyond one's own means will eventually suffer the consequences. Dead, crazy. Even the strongest player in the United States has sunk for a full year. Therefore, the danger of the fifth layer of dreams is known to the whole world. But now, there is an exception. That is Xu Heng. He not only successfully entered the fifth floor, but also successfully returned. This is the only case in history. If this news is made public, it is estimated that the whole world will be boiling, and countless strong people will come to grab Xu Heng. And this was also the key reason why Ling Kangfang came to find Xu Heng in person. As for the solicitation, it was just a casual goal. Xu Heng was not surprised when he heard Ling Kangfang's question. People in the army must know that he has been to the fifth floor, so it is not surprising to ask this question. However, Xu Heng will not tell his secret. So, he made an excuse. Because, I found out that there is actually a person in the fifth floor of the dream. Xu Heng replied. Hearing Xu Heng's answer, Ling Kangfang's body trembled suddenly, his pupils shrank suddenly, his face full of shock. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Global God Choice. Only I Choose Saiyan Bloodline 43. Chapter 43. Chapter 43. Flying Technique by Xu Heng. There is actually a person in the fifth floor of the dream. I just entered, and the voice of that person shocked me out of the dream. So, I don't know why I came out of the fifth floor. Xu Heng's half-truth sounded. In the fifth layer dream, there is indeed a person in it. This person, even Xu Heng, who has seen Inception, doesn't know who it is. The magic of Saiyan's blood, he would never mention. Bloodline is also the key to successfully returning from the fifth layer of dreams. After dying on the fifth floor, not only can a normal person not be able to get out of the dream, but after resurrection, they will become weaker and weaker each time, and each resurrection is a weaker spiritual power. And with Saiyan's bloodline, as long as he doesn't really die, after resurrection, his strength can skyrocket and become stronger. To put it simply, normal people are on the fifth floor, and each time they die, they will become weaker, but Xu Heng is just the opposite. This is also the key factor for him to escape the fifth layer dream normally. Otherwise, he could only be like everyone else, trapped in the fifth floor forever and lost forever. Therefore, after careful consideration, Xu Heng said half-truth that it was because there was a mysterious person inside, who shook his spiritual power out of the fifth floor, and was lucky enough to save his life. But Ling Kangfang, who heard his words, had a strange expression. There are actually people on the fifth floor, his shocked voice sounded. As the managers who guard the dream relics, they have done a lot of research and experiments on the dream relics. So they know this ruin better than others. As early as many years ago, they tried various methods in an attempt to dig out the secrets of the 5th floor. They have also sent a lot of researchers to enter the 5th layer of dreams. Without exception, every researcher who entered has experienced various mental disorders. After so many years of research, they only vaguely felt that there was a powerful spiritual body inside, but they did not know what that spiritual body was. So when they heard Xu Heng's confirmation, they were still very surprised that there were actually people inside. After being shocked, Ling Kangfeng's expression became very happy. We have been studying for so many years, and we have sent many researchers to enter the 5th floor, but that mysterious expert has never done anything. And you can let him shoot. It shows that your spiritual power has attracted his attention, which shows the huge potential of your spiritual power. Even if there is no 5th floor, if you can successfully enter the 4th floor as a freshman, you have extraordinary potential. Are you sure you really don't want to come with me? Ling Kangfeng still did not give up and asked Xu Heng again. And Xu Heng shook his head firmly again. Ling Kangfeng was a little disappointed. Our military's power is not limited to this one place. Our people are spread all over the country and hold a large number of relic resources, which can help you provide all kinds of rare and special resources. In contrast, this school is limited to this small place. For you, the stage of this school is still too small. So you have to think carefully. Join us, you will have better development. He really hoped that Xu Heng could go back to the military with him. Being able to directly break into the 5th layer dream state in the freshman period is enough to show that Xu Heng's spiritual power is absolutely different from ordinary people. Even if the dream relics are aside, just relying on his infinitely close combat power to the Great Grand Master is enough to give him various resource tilts. However, despite Ling Kangfeng's repeated invitations, the only response to him was Xu Heng's firm refusal. Oh, what a pity. Being rejected many times, Ling Kangfeng shook his head slightly disappointed. With great sincerity, he personally came from the military, although the primary purpose was to find out the secrets of the 5th layer of dreams. However, when I saw Xu Heng in person, I was still attracted by his amazing potential. Before coming to school, he checked almost all of Xu Heng's materials. So he knew that before the college entrance examination, Xu Heng was a very ordinary person. It is not uncommon for the top scholar in the liberal arts, which is produced every year. But it has only been about 2 weeks since I entered school. I have just entered the 2nd ruins, and I have just completed the 2nd experience, and I can directly become the existence of the top of the master. The rarity of this kind of genius is not comparable to the gimmick of the champion. Just now, he repeatedly invited Xu Heng, hoping that Xu Heng would change his mind and follow him to the army. He even raised the idea of personally accepting apprentices for guidance. You know, his identity is not comparable to ordinary people. Countless people robbed their heads and hoped to see him, but they failed. But now, he personally came to invite Xu Heng, but he was closed. After being rejected one after another, he is not insisting either. Since your attitude is so firm, then I'm not forcing it. However, before you graduate from college, if you want to come to the military, you can contact me at any time, we are always welcome. Ling Kangfeng said. After that, Ling Kangfeng waved his right hand. A book appeared, slowly floating in front of Xu Heng. This is the flying technique, which allows you to float in the air before you are king. It's a welcome gift for you. With your talent, I believe it's not difficult to learn it. Xu Heng looked at the exercises floating in front of him curiously. Flying technique. Isn't that what Xu Xiaojia used? That's right, but, usually, only students who fit in with Immortal Kalen can get it first. I hope we can meet again next time. One last point. Never tell anyone about going to the 5th floor. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. Ling Kangfeng's farewell sound came, and then no more ink was left, and he disappeared in place and left here. And Xu Heng, who originally looked at the classics of flying technique, saw Ling Kangfeng disappearing from the spot. The pupils shrank slightly. Is that so? Instant transmission. Is it the real king? Or from the Adela star? Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Global God Choice. Only I Choose Saiyan Bloodline 44. Chapter 44. Chapter 44. Questions about cultivation. Ling Kangfang's instant transmission immediately disappeared. Is it really instant transmission? The one that ignores space? Seeing the disappearing figure, Xu Heng was extremely excited. Ling Kang Summit. My own Saiyan blood, and it will work in the future too. After waiting for a while to calm down, Xu Heng held the flying technique floating in the air and began to meditate carefully. Flying technique. I don't know the school. Are there any other exercises that I can learn? Until now, he has not learned any martial arts skills. All rely on the strength of Saiyan bloodline to grow. During the battle, he did not use any fancy moves, all relying on his own hardcore strength. Although this can show that his own strength is amazing, but there is no increase in the cultivation technique, it is inevitable that he will suffer some losses. Saiyan's bloodline is undoubtedly very powerful. With a natural fighting bloodline, the more he fights, the stronger he becomes. However, if you only have bloodline, you won't have much use. If you don't learn various combat abilities, you may only use some brute force. Just like in Dragon Ball, some Saiyan bloodline people, when they go to plunder other planets, actually rely on change. Adult orangutan to wreak havoc. And learning the exercises is to add more fighting skills on the basis of a strong body. For example, flying technique can make flying. In addition, Saiyan's emotional control ability is very poor. In the original book, Son Goku also appears to lose his mind. Although, the more angry Saiyan is, the stronger the ability to burst out. However, losing one's senses in the battlefield is a very dangerous thing, and it is very easy to be used by the enemy, causing huge damage to allies. This is also the benefit of the Dream Relic to Xu Heng. Before the beginning, Xu Heng's mental power was not outstanding, but after the relic, his mental power attribute directly broke through 10,000. This also greatly improved his emotional control. Saiyan has other downsides too. Attention is particularly easily interrupted, and distraction on the battlefield can be very dangerous. This is also the reason why he needs to learn other exercises. He needs various types of exercises to improve his shortcomings. A flying technique, obviously, cannot meet all his needs. He also needs other aggressive moves, such as the famous Kamehameha. He couldn't always fight on sheer strength, and that wouldn't bring out his true advantage. I remember that in the original Dragon Ball, Son Goku learned quite a few moves and exercises. Xu Heng slowly recalled the anime he watched before. The first is Kamehameha, Master Roshi's famous stunt. In the middle and late stages, Kamehameha's terrifying power should be well known to everyone. There is also solar flare, although the power is weaker, but the dazzling light of solar flare can blind the eyes of the enemy. According to common sense, after successfully fitting a character, it will give the corresponding character special abilities. However, Xu Xiaojia has flying technique, Shang Feng has Kamehameha, but I don't have anything. I rely on my strength to support it, and the logistics department is really pulling my hips. Xu Heng was a little depressed. The school said that I can look up all the materials at will. Then I will go to teacher Shushan to ask for a copy, there should be no problem. Thinking of this, Xu Heng quickly packed up his belongings and prepared to go out to find teacher Shushan. He wants to learn more exercises. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. When Xu Heng packed up his things and was about to leave the gravity training room, he went to teacher Shushan to ask for his skills. Several school leaders surrounded a table in the principal's conference room. Do you think, what level of specifications should we use now to receive military personnel? Ling Kangfang is not only a powerful king-level master himself, but also holds important positions in the military. With a strong military background, he represents more than just himself. The principal, who was sitting in the first place, was the first to speak and ask the others around him. Military personnel will be here today. Although, they are not here to do good things, but to dig a corner of their own school. The people here are a little unhappy. However, after all, the other party has a distinguished status and a strong background. Even if he is very reluctant, he still needs to have the necessary welcome, and he can't just find someone and send the other party away. Just like the ministerial level treatment, it's not bad for him, after all, they are here to dig a foothold. A leader-like person replied beside the principal. Opposite the principal, someone said, let's be careful, there may be more than one person from the other party. Just as the leaders were discussing how to receive military personnel. Bang! The door of the conference room was pushed open, and a figure stood outside the door. Why, didn't you see there was a meeting? The meeting was interrupted, and the headmaster's slightly annoyed voice sounded. Report the principal, just received a notification from the military that they have left, the figure outside the door reported. Let's go. In the conference room, the confused voices of the leaders rang out in unison and looked at each other in dismay. I haven't seen it yet, why did you suddenly tell me to leave? What's going on? The principal looked at the informant outside the door suspiciously. They said, privately, they had already met Xu Hang. Let's leave now, let's not do any fancy welcome ceremony. The informant answered the principal's question. Hearing this, the headmaster's expression changed drastically. Have seen Xu Hang? Isn't Xu Hang in the gravity training room? Could it be that Xu Hang has been secretly taken away? After speaking, the principal hurriedly stood up and ran away in the direction of the gravity training room. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Global God Choice. Only I Choose Saiyan Bloodline 45. Chapter 45. Chapter 45. Student Union Invitation. Birds dripping on the tree. In front of the gravity training room, the janitor still sang opera leisurely. Xu Hang, Xu Hang. Suddenly, the headmaster's anxious voice came from a distance. Then, his dashing figure appeared in front of the door of the training room. What's the matter? In such a hurry? The gatekeeper glanced at the headmaster who hurried over, with a puzzled expression on his face. Where's Xu Hang? The principal asked hurriedly. Let's go, the uncle replied casually. Ah, hearing the old man's words, the principal's face suddenly turned pale. We gave such good conditions, and finally let the military dig it out. The headmaster's face sank, and he cursed bitterly, damn Ling Kangfang. He was actually dug out by him. What is digging a corner? Xu Hang just came out and said he was going to the logistics department to find a teacher to practice the exercises. The old man gave the principal a strange look. Ha, Xu Hang is still at school. The headmaster's pale face was instantly overjoyed. We received a notification from the military that they had contacted Xu Hang privately, the principal explained. You said Xu Hang had left, but I thought Xu Hang had gone with the military. After listening to the principal's words, the old man immediately understood what had happened, and pouted in disdain. This guy still likes to be sneaky like this, and it's not the first time. 5 years ago, Longshan University also had a very talented student. Although the force was not very good, but the scientific research talent was superb, and he solved the national scientific research problem as soon as he entered the school. Longshan University was also very happy at that time, and planned to train him as the successor of the Dean of the Academy of Sciences. As a result, he was secretly pried away by him before he was hot. When the old man said this, he couldn't help rolling his eyes, but fortunately, Xu Hang was not bewitched by those guys, so he decided to stay. Xu Hang stayed in the gravity training room for a whole day and night, and just came out to find his teacher. Don't worry, Xu Hang didn't leave. The headmaster's expression suddenly became much better. Then it seems that Xu Hang chose to stay. It's not bad boy, it's not worth my waste of words. This guy trains so hard, he's a real talent. The freshman is about to go through the third relic experience. This time, I plan to make a special relic for Xu Hang, and make sure it is suitable for him, hehe. But the old man doesn't seem to care about these. Whatever you want, don't bother me anyway, don't affect my leisurely retirement life. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Xu Hang, who left the training room, went directly to the logistics department. He wanted to find Shushan quickly, hoping to get more combat-type moves and exercises to enhance his combat effectiveness. Xu Hang was walking on the road, and many students around him came out of him. All of a sudden, there were whispered discussions around. Is this Xu Hang? I heard that this combat power test went directly to the Grandmaster level. It's really perverted. They are both freshmen, and the gap is too big. I only want to be able to reach the Grandmaster before graduation, so I will die, hee. There were also senior students on the road, who looked at Xu Heng and expressed disdain. No matter how first, it's just a freshman. If he gets into the ring, he'll find his teeth all over the place if I don't beat him up, and let him know what is beyond heaven. Indeed, it should frustrate his spirit. In the school cafeteria by the road, on the second floor, by the window, there are two figures sitting opposite each other, looking at Xu Heng, who is gradually moving away, smiling slightly and withdrawing his eyes. Konggong, you seem to be stronger when you come back from the fog this time. I guess you are almost at the Lord level. One of the people on both sides of the table said to the person opposite. The person named Kong Heng smiled slightly when he heard the words on the other side. Haha, this time through the foggy experience, luck is good, and I entered a good ruin, and my strength has indeed improved a little. It's a bit unpleasant that I encountered a Lord-level beast, and I finally beat it into a serious injury, but it actually made him run away. The figure opposite Kong Heng, when he heard what Kong Heng did not deny, immediately his eyes shrank, and his heart was shocked. Lord level, a realm that many teachers have. As expected, this year's graduates are the strongest, no surprise, I guess it's you. Haha, Kong Heng didn't answer, but looked in the direction where Xu Heng was leaving. This time the first freshman seems to be very good, your student council, don't you think about it? Is that freshman number 1? The person in the student council seemed a little disapproving. We already have someone to contact him. However, this Xu Heng is really that strong. Is it really worth fighting over? Why did the military's king-level masters come in person? Although the student council member has already asked Xu Heng to contact him. However, it was obvious that he did not recognize Xu Heng too much and felt that he should not put so much effort into it. Whether it's worth it, I don't know. But, I'm sure, he must be stronger than when I first came to school. The person named Kong Heng said with great certainty. Opposite him, the student council member heard Kong Heng's words. The look of disapproval in his eyes suddenly turned into a look of surprise. This Kong Heng, who was also the first freshman at the time, scored nearly 600 in the freshman combat power test. That's more than twice his own. Now it has reached the realm that many teachers only have, the Lord level. Now he actually said, this Xu Heng is stronger than he was back then. Why, the student council members were a little puzzled. Isn't Xu Heng's test score just over 500? Facing the puzzled look on the other side, Kong Heng smiled mysteriously. Because of this Xu Heng, his strength is hidden. 512, it's not his real combat power at all. Ellipsis 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 dot. At this time, Xu Heng did not know all this in the cafeteria. He was heading straight for the logistics department. Suddenly, a student blocked Xu Heng's way. Classmates, are you interested in joining the student council?